Halen 51's what we're on. Immediately sounds excellent. What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we are gonna check out the all new Matribox multi-effects processor and amp simulator from Sonicake, and it's only 130 bucks. Let's do it. Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and what I typically do is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment, such as what you see here. I record it with a simple setup and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E-stand or thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes with salt and vinegar flavoring stuck to their shirt, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button on the way out and subscribing so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! Alright guys, so as mentioned in the intro of this video, we are taking a look at the new Matribox multi-effects processing unit from Sonicake. This thing clocks in at $129, and I honestly gotta say, I find it pretty impressive, at least from the amp modeling standpoint, because I'm not really an effects guy, and that's not what we're gonna look at today anyways. We're gonna take a look primarily at the amp modeling function of this unit, because that's what most of the people who are coming to my channel are gonna be interested in anyways. But before we get too much further into this video, I do want you to know I'm saying nice things off the bat. It is not because this is a sponsored video, which it is. This video is sponsored by Sonicake. They are paying me to share this with you guys here on the channel, so feel free to take everything I say with a massive grain of salt. You have every right to do so, and I don't blame you. But just know that I am giving you my honest opinions on this unit, so keep that in mind. But now that we have that out of the way, I have spent a little bit of time with this prior to making this video. I kind of dove in just because I wanted to be able to figure out the interface and be able to get around the menus and stuff on this video without stumbling all over myself. That way it's a little bit more fluid. And as you can see, as far as the controls, it's rather limited. It's got a tiny screen. It is a little bit cumbersome to get around in the menus, and a lot of your options are limited, but that does not stop this thing from sounding good, especially on certain amp and cab models. Like, there are a couple combinations in here that I have found that are incredibly impressive. But anyways, that intro clip you heard, I actually altered one of the presets that came on this unit. I kind of found one that was really close to something that I liked already. For the amp, we actually have a Cali Dual M, which I'm gonna guess is a dual rectifier of some sorts. Over here for the boost, we've got basically a TS9 style tube screamer. We've got a noise reduction circuit in here, or a noise gate. For the cab, we have a Dizzy 412, which I'm assuming is based on a Dietzel 412, and it sounds really good. Like, the cab and the amp were both just like that. The only difference was they had a post EQ on here. You've got some post effects availability on this unit. You've got post EQ, and then we get a modulation, a delay, and a reverb block. They had the reverb block on as well. So I turned off the reverb, I turned off the post EQ, I dialed the amp in a little bit more to my liking, and that was it. Like, it was ready to roll. So yeah, we're just gonna dive in. We're gonna check out a couple of the amp and cab models, see what types of tones that we can get, and I'm also going to pump this thing through the Blackstar Amped One 100 watt power amp into my Mesa oversized 412 with an SM57 on it, and see if we can actually get some kind of like real world in the room functionality out of this thing as well. But the intro clip that you heard, and for right now, we're just going directly line out into my interface. One of the first questions I'm sure that you guys are gonna ask me, this does have stereo outputs, and it does have the ability to turn the cab simulation either on or off for each individual output. So if you want to run this thing front of house, but you also wanna run it into a power amp and cab to get stage volume, if you were gigging with this thing, you can do that. It's only a 1/4 inch output though. There's no XLR outs on this thing, but still, I find that pretty impressive to be included at that $130 price point. As far as the construction of this unit, it is all plastic, front and back. Really the only metal things on this entire unit are the foot switches. Everything else completely made out of plastic, even the back panel. So it's probably not gonna be the most durable unit. It's not a unit that I would expect to last multiple tours and stuff, especially if you're stomping around on stage, but as a cool recording tool, it's got an auxiliary in, so if you wanna use it to play along with your favorite songs and stuff, it's got a looper, so if you wanna use it at home to play along to some of your riffs and add leads on them, it's got a headphone out. You wanna use it as a late night practice tool, or you wanna just use it directly into your interface as an amp modeler for recording, you're gonna be able to accomplish all that and then some. So $129.99, pretty good deal. And if you find you do want to buy this thing at the end of this video, I'll put a link down below in the description. That will be a 10% discount link, and it will also be an affiliate link. So if you guys buy the unit through that link, I make some money. Again, transparency is key for me, but if you do decide to buy it, I really appreciate it. So with that being said, let's finally get into some sound samples. What I'm gonna do is I am actually going to back out of there. We're gonna scroll all the way to the beginning and we're gonna find a couple of presets, see how the presets sound, and then I'm gonna dive back into that thrash metal preset that I had set up, and we're just gonna mess around with some of the amp and the cab modeling and kind of see what we come across that sounds good. So let's do it. So here's the very first preset. This is the Matribox preset. All right, so that's like a big, roomy, stadium type, pretty high gain preset. That is a lot of reverb. All right, let's go check some other stuff out. Here's Golden Age. This is kind of like a high gain hard rock tone from maybe the 70s or something. Whoever programmed this at Sonicake loves their reverb. Let's move on. Okay, this one's called Max Hormone. I don't know why all the high gain presets have reverb on them. That doesn't sound good. Let's go ahead. Let's finally go over to that thrash metal preset that I had set up again. Let's jump in here. Let's check out a different amp model. So we had the Cali Dual M. Here's the Cali Dual V, which I'm gonna guess that's a Mark V. That is, whoa, really bright. Okay, so to get into the controls of the amplifier, you click on this button and it brings you over to the first set of controls. So right now, everything is literally at 50. All right, pulling the treble and the mids back helped a lot. Now it sounds a lot like a Mark V. That's another winner right there too. I think that sounds really good. Here's our SLO 100. Woo! That gate threshold must be really high. That sounds awesome. That seriously sounds really good. Dude, I'm very impressed with the modeling on this thing, for real. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys think so far, but right now, wow. Halen 5150, I think it's kind of obvious, right? Okay, so there is this thing about the 5150, 6505, and the palm mutes where there's almost this like metallic clank when you hit them just right. It's there, like it is in this model, and it sounds great. For real, I'm seriously impressed. Let's try a different cab. Let's see. Let's get the old tried and true. California 412, dual 412. Let's try Cali. That sounds like probably like an old school Mesa cab with the metal grate front. All right, so we've got the dual 412, which I'm pretty sure is a rectifier 412. Let's go over to the amp. We need definitely some more high end now. And a little less mid. Let's pull that mid back. All right, I don't think that their rectifier 412 impulse is a winner on this particular model, if we're being 100% honest. Very, very mid forward, very nasally, not great. Let's try the Tanger 412, which is basically like an orange. Not much in the way of low end though, which orange cabs are usually pretty beefy in that low end. So again, not a winner in my opinion. There's a high watt 412. Which I would imagine is probably modeled with some sort of Fane speaker. It definitely sounds like it. Here's a Halen 412. I like it. I like the overall voicing. Definitely missing some low end though. See if we can turn on this EQ, change it to the guitar EQ. So I've added a little bit of 125K, which should give us a little bit more low end punch. All right, I like that cab, needs a little work. Let's check out one more and then we're gonna move on. That Dizzy 412 is insane. Okay, Engel 412 sucks. Here's a Brit lead. Which is probably like a Marshall with lead 80s in it. Now, I did not scroll far enough to see if we could load our own impulse response. I actually didn't even look. Oh, there's also a Soldano 412. That one's got some low end. That's definitely one of the Soldanos with Legend speakers in it. Oh, there's a bass cab on here. This thing must have bass modeling on it too. As you can tell, I did read the product info. User IR, all right. So this does have Type-C connectivity, USB Type-C connectivity. So yeah, you can load your own user impulse responses, totally bypass the input or the built-in impulse responses. And I think that's gonna come in handy personally. So the fact that we can do that is excellent. So with that being said, we are now actually going to flip on this power amp and we're gonna test out some amp modeling through my Mesa 412. So let's head back over to that amp. We've got the Halen. Let's turn off this EQ. I don't want this EQ on for sure. Immediately sounds excellent. All right, so this pickup is really microphonic. I actually am gonna turn the noise reduction threshold up. Maybe a tad bit hollow. Let's add a little bit more mids. That sounds awesome. Let's check out a different amp model real quick. Angle 120. Awesome. It sounds it sounds super good. This is a lot of fun, man. Flyman B1 Plus. All right, sounds pretty rad. Kind of has the Friedman thing going on a little bit, but I would say it's not super close. Finally, here's an Orange Rock Reverb 100, I'm assuming, Tanger R100. Yeah, it definitely has that thing going on. Man, this is impressive. Let's go back to that Soldano for the last one. Real quick though, I'm having some tuning issues. Let's try the tuner. We're a little late in the demo. Says my E string's in. Or got a nice screen. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say there's no way that E string is in. All right, cool. Yeah, tuner. Should be pretty easily visible on stage if you're using this on stage, so not bad. And we can get right out of it. Back to the SLO. Alright guys, that is going to do it for me today on the Sonicake Matribox. What did you think? Let me know down in the description. Obviously, I had some big positives, some definite drawbacks as far as the cab emulation. Decent tuner, it's got good functionality, especially, like I said, 130 bucks, man. I think that you can't ask for too much, and just the fact that this has good sounding amp modeling alone and multiple good sounding amp models, for me personally, I think it makes it worth the price. So if you're on an extreme budget but you want multiple sounds to play around with that don't sound like doo-doo caca, definitely not a bad option whatsoever. I have no idea if there's anything else even in this price range, let alone anything that's gonna be good. So you guys heard all my thoughts already. Put yours down below in the comments of this video. If you'd like to purchase it, again, in the comments and in the description, I will put an affiliate link that'll give you 10% off. I will get a commission and I would very much appreciate it. Thanks again to Sonicake for sponsoring this video, and I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks again for watching, guys. Kyle here again, and we'll see you later. Bye! That was the slowest exit ever.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.